It's Wednesday, the 27th of July, 2022. Welcome to the Fast Five by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories in 5 minutes. Let's jump into it. Story number 1. How about this? The United States has become Australia's largest wine export market, while sales to China have gone from $1.1 billion a couple of years ago to just $25 million.
It has been an incredible shift for the industry. The latest figures from Wine Australia show exports fell 10% in volume and 19% in value last financial year to $2.08 billion. And it's all about China, which of course slapped prohibitive tariffs on the local drop back in late 2020. If you take China out, things look pretty good. There are 113 destination markets and almost 60% of wine produced goes overseas. Shiraz is a top export, followed by Chardonnay. Then there's a big gap to Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot and Pinot Gris. Ignoring China, exports actually increased by 5% last financial year. The US is now number 1 buyer, followed by the United Kingdom, but there's also been strong sales growth into Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, India and New Zealand. And Michael, it's the more expensive wines, mostly reds, that are growing fastest.
What's an expensive wine, Sean?
And this definition, it's actually US $10, which is only $14, so it doesn't seem too expensive to me.
Oh, sweet, that makes me sound really classy. I drink expensive wines then. Story number 2, Sean, the Governor-General David Hurley kicked off the 47th Parliament yesterday, and as is tradition, he read out the government's flagship policy areas. They include climate action, childcare, recognition for Indigenous Australians, and boosting job security.
Yes, and the speech warned of choppy waters for the economy. We'll hear more about that tomorrow from Treasurer Jim Chalmers when he provides a State of the Economy update. Queensland MP Milton Dick was formally elected as Speaker of the House of Representatives, and Prime Minister Anthony Albanese urged colleagues to implement the Uluru Statement of the Heart this term. The real business of Parliament starts today.
Sean, story number 3 today, the rising prices of used cars, which is probably one of the more unusual outcomes of COVID, looks to be petering out somewhat.
While prices paid for second-hand cars during the June quarter jumped by 7.5%, in fact, they were up 8.5% for utes, Moody's Analytics now predicts prices have peaked. During the June 3 months, there were some pretty specific events pushing up prices. There was heavy demand from the construction sector, which was doing well. Also, there were floods in New South Wales and Queensland, which caused damage to thousands of vehicles. They had to be replaced. For the 12 months to the end of June, used car prices rose 16%, quite incredible. But this quarter, imports of new cars are picking up, and the cost of living pressures are starting to bite. That's putting downwards pressure on used car prices. So maybe the best is over if you're selling your old vehicle.
Okay, story number 4. I reckon I'm not the only one who'll be surprised by this. Qantas is not the largest carrier of passengers into and out of Australia, according to new figures.
Yes, I was very surprised by this. The Bureau of Infrastructure and Transport Research Economics says that in May, Qantas carried 16.8% of all international passengers entering and leaving Australia. Singapore Airlines carried 16.9%. When you include Qantas subsidiary Jetstar, the number jumps to 26.5%, though the two combined, Qantas and Jetstar, is still below pre-pandemic levels. There's about half the number of seats available for international travel into and out of Australia compared to pre-pandemic levels, but Qantas is no longer the biggest carrier.
And finally, Sean, story number 5. I know you're a big music fan. So Adele, the global singing superstar, has taken residency in Las Vegas, but seeing her doesn't come cheaply.
Yes, the British star has a short-term residency in Vegas Casino Caesars Palace entitled Weekends with Adele. It'll run from November through to March, and tickets on reseller platform StubHub are going for between $600, fair enough, and $41,000. according to Bloomberg. Now, that's as high as anyone has ever been able to command. Anyone that's seen the Elvis movie that's around at the moment knows exactly what a residency is about. Many very famous people have done one, including Liberace. He did the first. Lady Gaga, Britney Spears, Katy Perry, Bruno Mars. The most successful was Celine Dion's first residency at Caesars, which went from 2003 to 2007. It holds the record for the highest grossing Las Vegas residency ever. bringing in about $385 million.
Do you reckon we could get a fear and greed residency at Crown?
No,
Okay.
actually, probably not. I'd try, but no.
No, I just thought I'd float it. I'm an ideas man. All right, there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Wednesday, the 27th of July, 2022. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. If 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed on your podcast platform. Plus, there today, you can also find our great debate all about property prices. If you want to know what's in store for the property market, give it a listen. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.